City do not reflect those of this station or its affiliates.
All music, stories, and characters are the sole property of their creators and are protected under international copyright law.
Sierra, Sweet Cheeks, Toxie, and Glitz are personalities put on for your entertainment.
Their stories are real, their language is explicit, and their behavior's out-fucking-rageous.
If you can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Blasting to you straight out of Las Vegas, Nevada, it is the curvaceous bounty of Sin City, starring Sierra, Sweet Cheeks, Glitz, and Toxie.
Go ahead. Start us over now.
Good evening, Las Vegas, and people around the world.
All you motherfuckers in Japan.
Ooh, we're in Japan tonight. Yay!
I picked somewhere. I like to say I'm geographically challenged. So
Geographically challenged?
I am. So I normally, don't know anything outside of my nearest cross street.
Ladies, I just want to say that we had a very productive meeting today before the show.
We did.
And I was very happy with our
Although
outcomes
we made no
today.
decisions, it was still very
No, I think
productive.
we did make decisions.
We did.
We made decisions and we made
Oh,
plans
God.
for future meetings, and we all have goals before the next meeting. And
Great idea.
you guys, it's great. We're getting ready to have a really busy year coming up. We're going to be at Winter Weekend. We're going to be at BBW Con, and we're working on some other things too.
And I've got my fingers crossed that at some point in the next year, somebody puts on a BBW FetCon.
I heard it might be coming.
I'm really looking forward for something like that. All of the FetCons that I ever see, Vegas's fetish community tried to have one time, and it was.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing about BBW Fet Con. A lot of people in the world out there think that BBW is a fetish.
Well, fuck it. Let's just put on Vegas's FetCon and have it put on by one of our BBW promoters.
Is that okay?
That's what I want. So here's an idea I've been kicking around, ladies, and it's something I think maybe we could talk about on the air. For the last 5 years, our intro has included specifically names of show hosts and, all of the legal propaganda that we have to put out there. And we've been using the same theme song, which we love thanks to the Yeller Bellies. I don't know if they're still together anymore.
I don't know, but
I know
I
they
never
just
knew that
come
Toxie
out.
realized what that song
I
was
never
about.
knew what it was about until you guys were singing it. It's like about pussy.
It is
I
about
never
pussy.
knew.
Well, but Sierra's going to play at the long break, so if you've never listened to that song, guess as the entirety, you need to do so. It's great.
They actually, Alexia and I served on the same nonprofit organization's board for a while, and we served with the lead singer's wife. She was on that board, and the first 2 shows that we did not have, well, actually the first 3 or 4 shows we did not have a theme song underneath our intro. It was just the words, no theme song. And the first time, we already started controversy. By the time we had our 3rd show, the director of this nonprofit organization came forward and said, listen, you said some things about somebody else involved in the organization, and I know you didn't say her name directly, but she knew that she was the scunt that you were talking about because she knew what she did wrong, and she's already come to me and complained about it. So 3 shows into this entire thing, we've already pissed people off,
You're
which
in
is
trouble.
great.
Well, that's good. That's your whole point.
Hey, I
right?
can hang
And-
with the word skunt.
I like
I'm
that.
okay
It's a
with
good
that. I
word,
can
huh?
do
It's
that
Good
word.
word.
skanky cunt.
I can do
Skunt.
that. I can do
Skunt is
skunts.
good.
I don't do the
Don't
C
you
word.
know a couple of skunts? I do too.
I know a skunt or two. But
I know.
I
skunt or
don't.
two.
I don't say the C word, but I can deal with skunt.
I'll say the cunt word for you as many times
You've
as
said it like 12 times since we've been together today.
you dirty rotten cunt bag.
She comes up
13.
with the greatest, it's never just like one word. You're never just a cunt. It's either a
Right.
skunt or a cunt, blah, 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 the lip smacking at camel jack. I mean, comes
A
up with these
camel
big,
jack.
long things,
Cum
and it's so
guzzling
funny.
gutter slut.
Yeah, that stuff. I love it.
That
Thigh
reminds
clapping
me.
thunder cunt.
While we're on now, I need to go on that kitty.
My sweary cat. I
I
love my sweary
love my sweary cat. I
My
love
sweary
my
cat is
sweary
great.
cat.
So you're gonna
Jizz
play
Weasels.
that song for everybody? Is
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
what you're
play it
saying?
on the long break. But what I really want is, I would love our own personalized theme song. And I know we have a couple of musicians who listen to the show.
And you know that our one musician even just recently sent me a message and said, if you need anything written for any of, the adult work I'm doing, please, please, I want to do it. So he might be able
Well,
to.
so what I'd maybe like to do is maybe have a contest and have all of our people like write a theme song or perform a theme song, and maybe we listen to them, decide which one we like, maybe put the top 3 that we like up for a vote on Facebook,
I love that idea.
and so maybe
Can you can
let's
you can you whip that up on all our social media?
Yes.
Do we have
take a
one of
note.
those things like it's a Hootsuite?
I have.
We
Yeah,
do.
you see.
So can we make sure that that gets posted like twice a day? A contest?
Yeah, I'd like to do that. At one
Look
point,
at me knowing about some Hootsuite. Aren't you
there-
proud?
At one point, I was going to go through Fiverr, which is this website. It's FIVR.com. I'm giving them a free plug because I love what they do. Um, all kinds of people with any kind of service around the world who are trying to get their name out there offer the service that they provide for $5. You can get anything from a professional voice actor to do a commercial for you. They've got theme writers on there, and I thought about paying.
Really?
But the thing is you pay one theme writer, you get one theme, and you're stuck with that. You can't say, "Oh, I don't like this part." You have to pay them another $5 to re-record it.
What
to
a great
change
place
it.
to find guests for the show. People that
So
maybe want to.
contest.
break it.
So do we have a prize?
The prize is
The
going to be
prize is-
their song will become our theme
Our
song
theme song that we play at the beginning
of
of our
every show.
Yeah, right.
And we'll give them there'll be a plug.
Sometimes
for
toxic.
'em.
Did you get drunk last night,
Smiling
Tox?
Mask. No, I
That's
did not
why
drink
she
at
can't
all this
concentrate today
weekend.
because she hasn't drank.
My system is clear. I don't.
Will you get her a
that's why.
bottle of Jaeger, please?
Please, somebody. For the love of all that's holy, give me some.
Yeah,
fucking
so
Jaeger.
that's a great idea. Have a and we do love the Yeller Belly song, so we do have to keep including that on our breaks because it's
Oh
a
yeah, no, we'll
fucking great
continue.
song.
We'll
But
and
Vendetta,
you know
do you hear that out there? And we have a couple other I know music dudes that listen to us, so that would
or
be great.
even a poem that could be put to a theme
That would be good.
background. I mean, we've got plenty of other people. I know lots of people. I could probably put music under any poem that's recited or something. So just, your idea
idea.
of what our theme should be. But I would like it to be kind of generic. Maybe not
Don't
necessarily with
our names because sometimes we're still taught. You guys know that we're running the show with 3 of us now. That the Glitz, because of personal situations, has had to step away. So, in fact, that was part of our meeting. We're just trying to decide what to do with spot number 4. We got lots of ideas, so we're not going to make any decision. You're stuck with the 3 of us and some guest people coming in until at least January, right? And then
Right,
maybe January. Well, you know what? We want a really special. So if you are out there listening and you think you got something special, and you don't have to be a fat chick, okay?
No.
You can be a gay man, you could be a tranny. I'd be so happy. You could be in our BBW community.
I'd be so happy
you could
too.
You can just be an average normal
normal
nerd
person,
man.
exactly. Anybody. If you think you have something to contribute to the story, to the show, send us an email at info@SinCityBounty.com, and we will get you a spot. You can be one of the guest hosts one night, and we'll give you a chance at stardom like us. Hi, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We're legends in our own minds.
Oh,
Are we-
I have to tell
everywhere.
you just really quick. Well, I might have to leave now because on Twitter, I just found out that there's a One Direction radio party going on right now.
Oh
It's
my
trending on Twitter.
God.
If I leave the room, I might have to, with my laptop. I mean, I might have to participate.
You can't listen in one year and be on the show in another.
I don't have a.
Oh my God.
It's a One Direction radio party. What am I supposed to do?
This is true. She did drive for 6 hours
I
to go to a
know,
One Direction
she's
concert.
crazy.
did.
So you guys, I had to call on our tranny friends this week. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of requests to do trampling. Now I've done some trampling and I've done a lot of it with my feet, okay? But they want me in heels. And one guy demanded heels, but believe it or not, he had a pair of heels to fit me. So I send my good friends Michelle Austin and Tyra Scott text messages this week, and I say, look, girls, do you know a place where I can find heels for my fat feet? I don't have
Wait,
to
first,
walk.
let me step back. Do not fucking ask Tyra.
Hold on a
Her
minute.
feet are smaller than mine.
Okay, well let me finish
Yes,
here.
but she does know other
Tranny girls.
MTFs who
Yes.
have big man
True.
feet.
She does.
I remember
So
trying to
anyway,
try on her shoes, and
yeah,
I was sad.
she
like
everything
tears. They
on
were
that, you know,
beautiful
she's
shoes.
just, yeah, and she's got, yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, so I said, you know, that I can, I don't need to walk in them. I just need to be able to trample in them and wear them for shoots, you know. And so of course they both come back, and I said, sorry, ladies, I don't mean to be racially profiling your feet. No, sexually racially profiling your feet. And they thought that was really funny. But you know what Tyra told me to do?
Huh.
Go to Payless.
Yeah.
And Michelle told me to go to Chicago. There was a great store in Chicago.
There is Rack Room Shoes
Uh-huh.
and DSW.
Well, my
All
buddy
carry wide
Desiree
widths these
Divine,
days.
you remember I don't know if you remember when she had that sale for the
I
big.
put some of her. They were fuck me shoes.
I know, they were
and I
so
love
fun.
them, and I should have gotten them, and then I
Yeah.
didn't, only because I couldn't.
You're
I
gonna
could
die
barely
the one she
stand,
gave me.
Like
You're
I would
gonna
have
die.
to stop in the middle of sex, then slide the shoes on, then
That's what I
wrap 'em
have it
around,
for.
Mr. Toxie's ears, but
My friend
I
Desiree,
couldn't walk in
I
them.
text her and ask her, and I
They
said,
were the
remember
best.
all those shoes you had at that sale? You know, I need a pair of shoes. I don't have to walk in them. I just have to trample. So our friend Desiree, being as concerned and wonderful, she's like, how are you going to trample if you can't stand? You know it's like standing on I said, look, I'm good. I braced myself in the wall. I can do it. I've done this. I just need some freaking shoes.
And a walker.
Oh, I got something for you. Good thing we're talking about Desiree, because I got something to give you. So she comes over to my house the other night. She has this bag, and they're size 12, so they're big for me, but it's okay because I have white feet. Girl, you would die. They're like black, and they got a little platform, and they're like suede, and they got little studs around them, and these are now my official hooker shoes.
I want hooker shoes.
You can try them on when you come to my house.
What
Can
what
I?
size do you wear?
I wear an 11. A
These are
10, but
12s.
my feet are wide enough that I wear an 11,
Yeah,
but my
that's what
length
I
is
do.
a 10.
These are big for me, but they're fine for what I need them for. I have for you, brought to me by Desiree Divine, a zip drive
Yay, with
with pictures of Stripper 101 and video.
and a video.
Nice.
So, good thing
Sweetness.
we were talking about Desiree and my shoes, or I would have forgot, because I knew she brought me two things that night when she came to my house. So, do we have something we need to talk about?
Yeah, we do.
We don't want to bring things down, but we need to talk about something. Go for it.
We recently had we have a lot of guests come in, and a lot of people that we're friends with on the show, outside of the show, and I'm gonna get a little verklempt,
You want me to?
but
One of our local porn girls here in town passed away this week, and she's been involved in a lot of shoots. She's been involved in our show. It is, you might know her on Twitter as Summer in the South or Southern Summer. She goes by, beautiful blonde. And it was really sad because she is part of the local BBW and porn community here, and just an all around nice person, and she had a lot of friends. And Toxie's upset because I know you had recently kind of got to know her a little more better, but we don't know anything. She went to sleep and just didn't wake up, and it's a sad thing. I wasn't really close to her, but when somebody 37 years old goes to sleep and doesn't wake up, it's nothing but sad,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Very.
So I know that her family doesn't live here. She
Right.
had some roommates that we are all very close to and have been close to for years.
she has a lot of Vegas family. I know,
Right.
I know she's very close with Desiree, who we had in here last week.
Paige
And a
and
lot
Jack.
of Paige and
and
Jack. As well. So I know she has a lot of
and a lot
very
of the
close
California
Vegas family
and
in
California, a lot of our BBW community out there.
Mhm.
And I know that her roommates, Paige and Jack, are having a really hard time, and but nothing but good thoughts to her family and her Vegas
Mhm.
friends. She's going to be missed here in a lot of ways. So,
I had said before, when we said we definitely want to mention her passing, and I said I'd love to tell my
Oh, you
my
got a story, yeah.
my summer story. It's my favorite story, and she loved this story as well. When we both realized, where this kind of came about and how we had connected before. So I definitely want to share it. So a while back, Mr. Toxie and I occasionally go to the Red Rooster, and
Woot woot.
it's woo, and it's newer for us. I mean, we're not lifelong members. So one of the earlier times we had gone, as everybody knows, when I drink, I get a little cray cray.
You get a little friendly.
I get very
Very
friendly.
social.
I get very social.
That's why
I
she's in charge of our social media.
I often get myself in a little bit of sticky situations. So one night we're there,
Not
and
Toxie.
I particularly had maybe a little more than I normally do. I like to keep at least a little bit control now. I stick with one thing. I don't mix it up. I just kind of try and regulate a little. But on this particular night, I hadn't, and so I met a girl there, and she was fabulous, and we immediately clicked, made out.
Made out.
So it was great, and we went up, and we're talking, and then the next thing I know, we're talking to these two gigantic black dudes, like the biggest guy, like they were bouncers. They were bouncers for bouncers. Like they were like these two guys side by side, and they were this big. And the next thing I realized, we had agreed to like a foursome. We had agreed to go in and like double team these guys. And so I'm, of course, totally on board. Totally. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Do. And then we're getting ready to go. And I go, oh, fuck, I can't do this.
You such a dick, T.
Because, as everyone knows, I'm all talk, no action.
Right.
And so I immediately went and I pointed over to the table, where my husband and our friends were. And I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I am so sorry. I forgot. I promised these guys over here at this table that I would double team them tonight. So I've got to back out of this next time. Next time, I promise. And so, and again, at the time I didn't know. And she's like, don't worry, I got it. I got it. So
I bet you she handled that cock.
so I hadn't seen her there since then. So fast forward to winter weekend, and we are at the Tuscany, and we're at Stu's event. And so we're there, and we said hi, and I've interacted with her since then through the show, and Summer, I believe, had even been on here at one point, and I'd met her, and we met her friends and everything. But remember, I was very drunk that night. And so all of a sudden we are in the middle, and we can go back and find the interview where the light bulb goes off. We are
You
in the
can see it on
middle
her face.
of interviewing Summer, just in the middle. And all of a sudden I go, oh my gosh, you were the other half of my group that night. I'm like, you helped me out. You totally got me out of that. Mind you, every time I went there after that, I like tiptoed in to make sure these dudes weren't there.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But and she's going, no, she was drinking a few that night as well, and she's like, really? Okay. And then later she messages me on Twitter, and she's like, I totally remember now.
You remembered because of her tattoo.
I remember because of her tattoo. She had mentioned on the show that she has a certain tattoo in a particular place. And so I remembered from there that, that this girl had told me about this. And I put two and two together, but it was like immediately like a light bulb went off. So it's one of, I mean, Summer's an absolutely beautiful,
the first day I met her,
person,
she was
but-
wearing a Swiss Miss dress. We were at a photo shoot, one of when I was just putting them together for Eliza, and she was at the shoot. And I just always, when I think of her, I always think of her in that Swiss Miss dress, walking
Right.
around the photo shoot, just kind of being friendly with everybody. So it's I always try to think of the good things of
But
somebody.
she was always fabulous. She
Mhm.
never,
She's a
was
hoot.
never, and at any point in which I had met with her, she was never
A cunt.
what you said.
Well, and
she was
in her
always-
private life, she did some very important work.
a lot, yes.
Very important work. So I know that there's a
And
lot of people.
She was really great about interacting with a lot of people, and sharing
Right.
her good news and her bad news,
Right.
sometimes. And
There's a lot of people that
Um,
are going to miss her, and yeah, it's just very sad. I think that when, my hope for her and her family is that they find peace, all of them, in some way or the other. I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, you have to find peace no matter how you find that. Everybody finds peace when somebody passes in a different way. When my best friend from grade school passed away, before we turned 40, for some reason I read everything I could find on the internet about near death experiences. And then when I talked to her sister about her final moments, I was able to it gave me peace. So wherever you find that peace, if it's with God, if it's going to the lake and screaming for an hour, whatever gives you that peace, that's what you need to do. I
Just
think that's
try not to
important.
destroy other people while
That's
you're
right.
finding that.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because it's the peace that you find is only within yourself.
Well,
So
one
the
of the things that I learned with Silent Mike's passing is that everyone near him grieved in their own way.
right,
And to downplay or belittle anyone's grief because you don't know them is a ridiculous thing to do.
Mhm.
right.
When someone touches someone's life, they're going to grieve with the loss of that touch. And that doesn't matter if they met them once and remembered them for the rest of their lives and then finds out that this person who changed their life passed on, or whether they saw them every day or saw them every week or whatever. You cannot belittle someone's grief for the passing of someone else.
No, you're right.
And you
And you
also can't
cannot
assume that just because, somebody isn't running around bawling their eyes out that they aren't grieving
grieving.
as well.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. And what would help you through a situation to get through that grief is not necessarily what would help me get through that grief. So there's no right or wrong way to grieve, and there's no right or wrong way to remember or love that person.
Right.
Whatever's right for you. So our friends that are here in Vegas that knew Summer and are going through a hard time, and you guys know who we are because you're listening right now. We love you and do what you need to do to find peace, and we're here for you.
Yes,
Anytime.
and if you need help with putting together a memorial service,
They are
They're
doing
working
one. I
or
on it.
do.
anything else like that, you need a place, you need anything, let us know and we will try to help you.
Yeah. So
'Cause
absolutely.
that's what we do for our people.
For our people, and we are a family. That's one thing we are in Vegas. We talk a lot with our listeners out there, and we joke about all the things. But when push comes to shove, it's a family. When Silent Mike passed away, we joked at his memorial service because there were union people there, there were strippers there were
Porn
porn star. I
stars.
mean, we had everything there, but we were a family, and it's the same thing. We will come together as a family and celebrate Summer's life is what we will do when that happens. So there will be a service. I do know it's in the plans. It'll be her Vegas family because her immediate family's in another state, but the Vegas family will do something to remember her by. And there is talk about some kind of little memorial maybe at AVN for her.
Okay,
So there
That-
is talk in the works there.
that would be great.
Be great.
So
So
to change the subject
Yeah.
without seeming
talk
to,
about something dirty because she
no,
would want us to.
I want to give you guys.
She
Well,
would want
that's
us
the
to
same
talk
reason why I
nasty.
thought at first I go, should I tell the story? Oh, is it bad to tell the story? And then I remember I'm like, no, she freaking loved the
Oh, she would've
story.
talked
Like
to
we
us.
retold that story so many times.
She would have told us if you look at her Twitter and
Right.
the girl
I mean, we
was
probably
just a
have
sex
3
pot.
episodes on our YouTube where her and I like retold that story.
Right,
So I'm like,
so
no, I think it's probably
it's
okay.
So you guys want a hillbilly wedding update?
Oh, give us the hillbilly because the hillbilly wedding is coming.
Yes.
I just want to see the hillbilly wedding dress. I'm waiting on the hillbilly wedding dress.
I will post pictures of it once it's done.
You know you're going to have to do it.
No, I'm not. I can't sew a
If you
motherfucking
need
wedding
help with the
dress.
pattern, you call me, okay?
I can cut
Because
some
you
shit
are
out.
going to have to do it. So call me and I will help you with the pattern, sister.
Oh, that may be what happens. But anyway, so yeah, so my mom's making this dress.
November 1st is the
November
wedding,
1st
correct?
is the wedding, yeah.
The hillbilly wedding.
The hillbilly wedding. And I asked her, we got together with her to discuss the not the theme, but the logistics behind the food,
Because you and Kelly
Guy
okay.
and I are cooking the food. And we volunteered to, although
That means
mostly
Kelly Guy will be here for Halloween.
Yes.
We love Kelly Guy at
Yeah,
Halloween.
Kelly
Okay.
Guy will be here for Halloween.
Cool.
And he's looking forward to coming back and doing hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah,
for
he likes
again,
Halloween.
too.
Yeah, he has fun.
So Although I just realized he's gonna be manning a grill for like 2 days straight if he does that.
Mine's only hot dogs. Remember, at my
Yeah.
house, it's only hot dogs.
But so originally we were told 100 people, and that's kind of small for a wedding.
Yeah.
You know, we were like, okay. But then we started thinking about the logistics of cooking hamburgers and hot dogs for 100 people. You're gonna have to
At
cook
least
them
it's only
early.
hamburgers and hot dogs.
Right. Well, and then we're gonna do potato salad and
The fixins.
right, all that stuff. And so we get there to talk about these logistics about where are we going to cook, how are we going to do it, what's going to be available, are we going to get serving dishes, are we going to get buffet trays, what are we going to be doing with this? And we're stressed out, he and I both, because it's 100 people. We're going to have to start cooking at like 8 a.m., even though the wedding and the reception isn't until 5.
Right.
And then my mom pipes up with like, oh, it's only going to be like 40 people. And then her fiance pipes up and goes, or like 20 or 30.
Oh,
And
that's awesome. So it's just
That's
like a little
cool.
family barbecue then.
yeah, that's no problem. Now we're like,
Yeah.
we
Now,
got
is there a
this.
DJ? Is there music? I know there's drinking
There is
because
drinking.
they're Irish.
Yeah, they're definitely drinkers, that's for sure. He's not getting a keg because he has no way to keep a keg cold, but he is going to get many cases o' beer. Um, I'm making the wedding cake. They'd asked me to make the
Oh,
wedding
good
cake.
for you.
I'm doing camouflage fondant, and I have been practicing and researching and looking, and so next weekend
Now
we're
you're
going
making
cake
your
supply
own
shopping.
camo design, like the way you have to color it to make it camo. Is that?
So there's 2 or 3 different ways to do it, but the one that I'm going to use is that you take fondant and you make like 4 different colors. You make, a brown, a green, a tan, and a black.
Okay.
And then you take tiny little thumbprint sized pieces and you stick them all together on your Silpat or your baking roller
Roll,
or whatever
yeah.
you're going to do, and then you just roll it out to
And
the
then
width,
puts
the
it
thickness that
together.
and then it just melts.
Oh, that makes sense.
Turns it
Yeah.
into all the wavy patterns and stuff that you
No,
would
no,
get.
no. Can I talk a little history, like about, like, do they watch like Duck Dynasty together?
No, they're both.
Where did this
They're
come
both
from?
my family's always been a very outdoorsy family.
Right,
We grew up
right.
camping. We grew up hiking.
Right, and I know you guys do that a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's a very outdoorsman.
But
type
camping is
person,
so
too.
hunting.
Well, they fish. They don't really hunt, but they fish.
Just promise me some pictures, okay?
I promise that I will
Promise.
not post anything on Facebook. I
Well, can
love
I see
my
them
mom.
Yeah. after
No,
Facebook?
well, see, here's the other thing is it's coming to closing time on this dinner, and we've got to leave because the boys got to go to bed, and they're
Right.
way out in fucking Egypt.
Your
where they
meeting, your
live,
dinner meeting.
our dinner meeting, and she pipes up, "I just don't know what I'm gonna do about photography." Woman, you are less than a month away from your wedding, and you still haven't booked a photographer. So
You know who to have in her book.
I have already talked to Charles and Desiree.
Okay,
and
that's
they're
exactly who
going
I'm
to-
telling you.
They're going to get back.
Do
with
you
me
know
on a
what
price
else
on
they
that.
have now?
The photo booth.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just going to tell you. The photo booth is so much fun at a wedding. My niece had one. Oh my God. And the whoever the guy was she hired had just these boxes of props, the big glasses and wigs. And it was the funniest thing I mean, like my 80-year-old aunts were like in the photo booth with wigs and
So my only problem
sunglasses.
with having a photo booth with drunk people, my drunk people, like people who make Toxie look tame kind of drunk people, I think I just want them there for the service, maybe the first hour of
Right.
reception, and then let's not get shots of drunk people eating each other out on the tables because that's where this is going to end up at some
You know what
point.
is really like your cousin and you're like, oh yeah,
I have
yeah.
no idea. And the herd from Arizona hasn't RSVP'd with how many of them are actually coming, and there's like 85 of them. So,
I'm glad you're keeping you know what's great?
boy.
Within our little community here, if you need something done, we can usually find somebody to do it.
Well, yeah. And then the other thing was music. My mom was like, I don't know what I'm going to do for music. And I'm like, well, first off, I have already researched wedding march music for the theme that you're going with.
Funny.
And I have 4 songs for you to listen to and choose from. Because I think I'm kind of acting as my mom's best lady.
Oh, maid of honor.
Maid of honor without actually being the maid of honor. I'm giving the speech at the wedding, at the reception.
Okay, nice.
asked me
Oh,
to
that
give
you
it-
are like the maid of honor.
Yeah, and all this crapola. And so I also have all the music that I know she likes on my phone, and I know she's got music on her phone that they like, and I'm like, All we need is an auxiliary cable. So first off, you're talking to the radio host who could probably jerry rig a
Yes.
production studio out of the crap they've got at the hall that you're using.
Right.
All I need is a phone full of music and an auxiliary cable,
You
and I
did
can
it
get this
for all the
done.
music at Mike's service, and it was beautiful music that looped and played,
Yeah.
and it was really nice.
Yeah, that's
Similar.
I've done
You just have to have
audiovisual for.
what do you call it? The speaker to make it loud enough.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely work with what they've got down there. And the other thing I told her is, just go down to Best Buy and pick up a cheapo Bluetooth speaker, and we'll just Bluetooth your
Yeah.
music off of your phone, and then no one's got to worry about because at least we know you like that music.
Right.
I'll sneak the chicken dance on there.
Exactly.
And,
The electric slide and the Macarena, and hey, just do
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like, like we always have somebody in our community. So, like last week, I said I went to have my oil change, and they're like, you really, really need your brakes done, okay? And they wanted like a gazillion fucking dollars. So I came home and I tell the bug guy, I said, my brake needs to be done. He says, oh wait, you know what? I got a friend. Let me make a call. So he calls this friend and takes my car, and we go drop the car off, and it's okay. So it gives me a great deal, get my brakes done, and I show up at the Red Label, and there's him and his wife there at the Red Label, like, oh, I didn't even know you guys came here. So it was like you're helping out the
You
community.
understand that for breaks. I mean, you know what Mr. Toxie does for a living. Although he's not in a position right now to be able to do it, but
Well,
he
this guy does
many people's
Well, but this guy
breaks.
does he's a mechanic for a cab fleet. So the boss allows them so many hours they
Oh,
can
okay.
use the garage. So it worked out really.
Yeah, he doesn't have that luxury,
Yeah.
but if
So,
you're
but
having
I
a
will
jam,
remember
yeah.
Mr. Toxie.
He just has to,
does that.
not be in pain from his stuff.
Right, I
But
feel bad. Are you giving
otherwise,
him
we
a
have a lot of
blowjob so
friends.
that he feels? If you give him a blowjob, he
He's-
won't feel about his
Did
knee
he
hurting.
text you and ask you to
No,
ask me
no.
that?
I'm looking out for my
Because
friend
he's been
Mr.
trying all
Toxie
day.
to get a blowjob. Well, he can't fuck too easy with a bad knee, so you got to give him a
Right.
blowjob. Hey,
Apparently
Mr.
you're
Toxie,
cowboy.
Mr. Toxie, Mr. Toxie, I got you. Okay, I come see you. I'll make a meatloaf and give you a blowjob.
All for it.
She's happy for both
I
of
know.
those.
She's like, I don't have to cook dinner.
Mm.
Oh, look who it is.
The Geek Boys are here. So
I
let's take a
love-
quick break so we can get them in and sat down and started and all that good stuff. And so we'll be right back after these messages from our friends, and we'll be coming back with the Geek Lounge. Yay!